Hi everybody, my name is Michelle Renee, but you all know me as Giggles, and these are my July favorites for musical theater. Starting off strong, I tried the SpongeBob Musical. It wasn't quite my cup of tea, but I did enjoy it and I did have a lot of fun, and my favorite character was Squidward Tentacles because he did that crazy tap number. They have a dude who has like an extra pair of legs, and because, you know, he's Squidward, and then at some point during I'm Not a Loser, which is one of my favorite songs in the whole soundtrack, he goes and he does like the whole tap number with the extra pair of legs that are also wearing tap shoes. I also went back and rewatched my footage of Heathers the Musical. I'm in a cast currently, a fan dub for Cursed Princess Club, and some people in the cast wanted to watch Heathers with me. They wanted to see my performance, so we movie nighted it a couple of times. And we watched it, and it was really weird looking back because that was really only the second show I ever did. So it was interesting because I got to experience the show again, but I also got to experience how I think my acting has improved. So that was really cool, and it totally put me in a Heathers mood. It was just bootlegs galore this whole month. I also watched Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the musical. So like a year ago, right after Spamalot, I went to the Pantages in Hollywood with my friend Taylor, and she gave me like all these different shows to go for. She was like, do you want to watch Mean Girls or Anastasia? Like a bunch of shows, and I was like, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, I have to see that show. And so she was like, really? And I was like, yeah, and she was like, okay. So we went to go see it. I loved it at the Pantages so much. I found a bootleg of it, not the exact show, it was just a bootleg of the musical, and I just had so much fun watching it again because I love that show. It's just so inspiring. I love it. And before I mention the final bootleg that I watched in July, I want to share this musical that I hope will be on Broadway one day. Right now I believe they only have tracks to the first act, but I think it's like a musical that's being workshopped, and you know, they're like trying to get it places. It's called Alice, Wendy, and Dorothy, and as you may have guessed from the title, it's about all three of those female heroines from their respective fairy tales in the same story. They're all older now, and I believe the premise is Wendy and Dorothy are evacuated. There's like a war going on, and they're evacuating these orphans to Oz and Neverland to go be safe, but also have their own childhood experience in these mystical worlds. Meanwhile, Alice, who's my favorite because I'm such a Wonderland girl, she, like, I think from what I can tell, because you know it's still in the works, so I'm just trying to pick it apart and figure it out as it goes. I think Alice has just returned from Wonderland. Like, she stayed there. She like grew up in Wonderland because, you know, if you've read the sequel, Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There, they crown Alice a queen. So I think she actually stayed there in this musical version of it, and she reigned as queen for some time, and then she had to come back for whatever reason, and she doesn't want any kids going to Wonderland because it's her Wonderland, you know? I found it literally because, like I mentioned my friend Taylor before, she is my resident Neverlander and I'm her resident Wonderlander, so we kind of have this cute little like, ooh, you know, I don't know what that was. But I was like, I wonder if someone's made something like that. And then I was surprised because I always ask people as like a fun question, are you more of an Ozian, a Neverlander, or a Wonderlander? And there just happened to be this musical called Alice, Wendy, and Dorothy, and I just was blown away. I was like, oh my gosh, it was meant to be. That musical was meant for me to listen to it and for other fairy tale enthusiasts to listen to it. They have a great song. I literally could not stop singing the song for a long time. I'm still singing it now sometimes. It's called Wonderland, Neverland, and Oz. You can see there's like a few videos of it on YouTube of the workshop, or I guess I should say original cast singing it, and then there are these three other girls who sang it for like a showcase or something, and they did this really nice professional recording of it, and the whole time all I was thinking was, oh my gosh, I wish I could do that with my friends. I would want to be Alice. But it's such a beautiful, great, interesting, and in a really funny way, nostalgic kind of song, because we all know these lands, we all grew up with these stories, so I just love it. I can't stop praising it. I really hope that it goes places, and that when it does, I hope I can get cast as Alice. New dream role. But I mean, ladies, since, you know, it's a small thing that hasn't really been out there yet, it's really good audition material. And finally, the last bootleg that I saw this last month, I had been wanting to see this for a long time, and I'm glad that my mom watched it with me because it's really nice sharing the experience with somebody. We saw The Hunchback of Notre Dame at the Paper Mill Playhouse. It was a bootleg of it. We didn't actually go to the Paper Mill Playhouse. That performance was like years ago. But wow, words can't describe how amazing this show was. First of all, I love Patrick Page, and he was Frollo. He was Frollo. And he did such an amazing job every single instant. From the beginning to the end to like Hellfire to Esmeralda. That's the title of the song. I love this Esmeralda. She was one of my dream roles for a really long time, but then I realized I can't dance. So I mean, if there's any casting directors out there who would cast Esmeralda with really basic movement and basic dance, then call me. But this Esmeralda was really amazing. I think, I can't remember the actress's name at the moment, but I believe she was a replacement Elsa for Broadway, or maybe the tour or something, but she was Elsa in Frozen more recently. Having said that, I cried 3 times. I cried 3 times watching Hunchback of Notre Dame. I can't believe it. I cried once during the opening number, the Bells of Notre Dame. I cried during Out There. I cried 4 times. I cried, when was the next one? I cried during God Help the Outcasts, and that was really special because I've heard that song sung so much, and none were ever as emotional and passionate as this one. I loved this performance. And then I also cried during Bows. Actually, because the cast was just so brilliant. I love the Quasimodo. He was, oh my gosh. I would say he carried, but everyone just brought it. Everyone was on the same level. Everyone was, it was just such a great show. Everybody should go see Hunchback. Out of all the other things that I mentioned, go watch Hunchback. I can't believe it's not going to Broadway, but whatever. That means that it's too good for Broadway, honestly. If Broadway won't take it, it's too good for Broadway. I said it. I just risk never getting cast ever in anything. But I mean it, and I stand by my word. Hunchback of Notre Dame, oh my gosh. Like, if it was a drag racer on RuPaul's Drag, it would be in every single season of All Stars. It was so good. And yeah, that was all the theater things that I did this last month. I hope that you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!